Hello and welcome back to Mountain Blade Warband, and our crusade against the Kurjat Khanate continues. And this is where we are. We're at Ikemur right now, and I'm going to be leading my soldiers in an assault. This shouldn't actually be too bad, but I remember now that I think we tried... Did we try this once before? I think we might have tried this once before, and I basically just gave up almost instantly because of the way that this ladder is perched against the wall, and I'm actually messing up right now because my my archers are getting onto the walls. I'm just going to tell them to hold fire so that they can get out of the way a little bit easier, and yeah, then we can actually allow our infantry to go forward. Obviously, this is not that big a deal because this is just the Kurjats, you know, but if we were doing this kind of strategy and I actually forgot to, you know, tell my archers to hold position back here against the Rodoks, or, well, obviously the Vaegirs are no longer a problem, but let's just say, you know, if it was the Vaegirs and we had a bunch of Vaegir marksmen attempting to murder us, then yeah, that's going to be a pretty big issue. But thankfully it's just the Kurjats, so we don't really need to worry too much about that. Anyway, my forces are obviously going to try and get inside as best they can. There are almost 300 enemy units in the garrison here, and I'm very much hoping that we'll be able to just slink on through. I'm currently in a bit of a difficult situation because you can see here I'm basically perched on the very edge of the ladder, and it is not making things very easy for me. I mean, technically, here's the thing, yeah, you can stand on the very edge of the ladder like so infinitely, and you will not get pushed off. But as soon as you start moving, that is when your AI friends gain some kind of collision with you, and then, you know, you can obviously get pushed off at that point. So if you're worried about getting pushed off, and obviously, let's face it, if you don't get shot in the face by an archer of some kind, then you can basically just stand there. You can just stand there like so, and you won't get pushed off, and everything's going to be wonderful. But then obviously you're not going to be moving forward, and you're just going to be standing there looking like a bit of a plonker, which is obviously not exactly great, which is what I'm looking like right now, actually. But it's okay, because I have a good deal of faith in my, well, in a bunch of my Nord Huskarls, as you can see right here. They are clearing the way very, very expertly at the moment, and I'm hopeful that I'll be able to get through. Guys, could you just... Come on now. Could you just... Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. Phew. Finally. Alright, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. So, yeah, I just wanted to get on by here. I'm just going to jump off. If I take any damage, that's not that big a deal. But, yeah, you know, it makes me want to spec into athletics. But I know that that's absolutely futile and completely useless. But, yeah, it makes me want to spec into athletics right now because I'm just moving so incredibly slowly. And that's frustrating. You know, it's frustrating to climb the stairs at a snail's pace, but whatever the case, let's try and do some damage from behind here. We are, of course, going to be receiving enemy reinforcements relatively soon. Wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be on me in a second, so I should be a bit careful, but I really want my forces to get freed up. Yep, here we go. Here they come. Just want to get a little bit out the way. There we are. Okay, so that's not too bad, and we should be completely fine here. But you know how it is. You know how it is. Sometimes they can deal damage without you even really noticing. Like, for example, right now, look at that. I have just taken, what, 4 hits? I think 4 hits total, and I'm already down. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Dealing with so many of these Kurjat Lancers, very, very difficult if they are going to get hits on you. They actually have high penetration weapons as well. Some of them do, at least. And that means, of course, they're going to be highly damaging no matter what, really. And they're going to have good speed on their swings as well, which is definitely going to make a pretty big difference. But the high penetration weapons are usually the thing that are going to do the most for them. So them using a mace, for example, it's fast and it's going to do a lot of damage to someone like me who's wearing heavy armor. Anyway, I think that... Is that actually the end? Really? Okay, fine. Didn't really expect that. I thought to myself, yeah, we're going to be in for the long haul here. And that was the reason why I was being a bit more cautious than normal. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, we were able to achieve victory. Let's get this Nord warrior for us. And I'm wondering... what else do I mean, I've only got one space, right? So I only have one space, so what do I want to take? Do we want to just take a recruit? A Swadian recruit at that? Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. I don't know. Anyway, let's just move on. And there you go. So Ikema has been taken, which is absolutely perfect. Very, very nice to see that. Gunda is the one that I'm going to be giving this to. As I recall in the previous episode, he had some issues, and that is not particularly good because, as you've no doubt seen, he's not very, shall we say, appreciative of us giving him these fiefs. You could see there he had, what was it, -20 or something, and now he has... what is it, +16 or something. So it's not really that good, and doesn't, it doesn't really show a lot of gratitude on his part. Because I've had a lot of other vassals in the past, the ones that are actually decent personality-wise, and they are amazing, because you can basically give them a fief, and then almost immediately they're going to be up to +60 or something like that. It's going to be incredible how fast they can gain relation with you. But as it stands, obviously that's not the case here. And Gunda might very well be one of the people that will backstab us in the end, which is going to be a huge amount of drama. But hopefully he's not going to do that right now. Anyway, we're going to go into a siege tower. This is not too bad, as I say. I feel like it's a lot easier now that we have a decent engineering skill. Oh, hello! Do you want to fight? Please don't. I really don't want to fight you on the field. Could you just go away? Could you just go away and do some other sieges, fellows? Yeah, thankfully they didn't decide to go in to attack me. I really do not want to deal with them on the field. It is going to be an absolute... I don't even know, just a slog of epic proportions, it's going to be one of those things, because even if I'm fighting only against one vassal from the Kyrgyz, we've seen this in the past, in this very series, in fact, we fought a Kyrgyz vassal by himself, and it was absolutely terrible. We took a massive amount of time to finish up the fight with him, and I can only imagine what it would be like if we were literally going to deal with, I don't know, 4 vassals worth, or 5 or 6 vassals worth of units. That would be just terrible. That would be one of the worst things ever. So I'm very much hoping that we'll be able to win the day against the Kyrgyz without having to get into an actual field battle with them. Maybe this is going to be a masterclass in avoidance, because I really don't want to do that. I would love to be able to just continue besieging against them, and hopefully not have such an extended period of time where we are just stuck in a battle with them. I'm actually wondering where my forces are as well. I'm wondering whether maybe it would be an idea for me to call for a campaign or something. My controversy might actually be a little bit too high, and that might be the reason why people are not coming to assist me, because there's this, I'm not sure. Now here's the thing, I'm a bit rusty on these hidden attributes, hidden values that Warband has associated with it. And there's this thing called controversy. Basically, it increases when a person has the marshalship for an extended period of time. So, for example, I've been the marshal for a lot of time so far, and you expect me to have a pretty high controversy, right? So, in other words, I should probably make someone else the marshal, so that my value can decrease over time, and then hopefully we can then create, or should we say, promote ourselves to the marshal position once again, and then we'll have a much greater chance of being impactful when we give orders. In other words, when we call for a campaign and actually go to town on some faction or another. But yeah. Because basically what controversy does is it basically makes it so that your vassals are not going to listen to you as much, or not going to listen to the marshal, whoever it is. And as far as I'm aware, it is a hidden a hidden statistic. But by all means, do correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a long time since I have even taken that into account. That's the reason why it's a good idea for you to switch around the martial position to a wide variety of different people every so often. Obviously not every single day or every single week even, but definitely you want to do it at least maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, I would recommend personally. But obviously, as I say, I'm a bit rusty on the whole thing, so you know, it's maybe not necessary to do it as often as that. But yeah. Anyway, I'm maybe hoping that I will be able to return to Wurcheg at some point in the near future, because I obviously have been at war for quite some time. I haven't actually returned to Wurcheg in a long while, and I am going to need to do something about that. For example, I would like, if at all possible... Oh, nice! We actually leveled! Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, that's been a long time coming, hasn't it? Yeah, absolutely long time coming. Anyway, as I was saying, it's been a long time since we've even gone back to Wurcheg, and here's the thing. If I'm going to finish off the Rodox, right? I'm going to finish off the Rodox. I would very much like to do that, and then possibly just go straight on to the Saranids, just straight away. You know, no break in between, basically. Just straight up go from the Rodox, eliminate them, and then go for the Saranids immediately. But, of course, the problem with that is that I have a huge amount of vassals waiting in my home base. And so I'm going to need to do something about that, aren't I? Yes. So, what I will do, because at that point, I think we are in a much better situation to accept these vassals, because as I said to you before, my reasoning for not accepting these vassals before is because I just didn't want them to continually lose relation with me over time, and then for them to just leave and empower one of my opponents. That was the only reason, because if they are waiting in my court, then no one else has their has their favor, and I can pretty much just do whatever I want to do, and we can kind of restrict the amount of strength that a particular faction can gain. And in this case, it's definitely going to be the Saranids, of course. They are going to be the ones that will benefit the most from any vassals leaving my service. And so that's the reason why, you know, considering I thought 100% that the vassals that leave me were going to go to the Saranids, I really just didn't want to, you know, knowing that they were going to be the last enemy, that is, I just didn't want to make them even more powerful, you know, than they already were, because they are gaining a number of vassals already just from, you know, passive relation gain and passive vassals that have left other factions that have disbanded, and you know, we've conquered them basically. So they're leaving. Some of them are leaving and then becoming vassals of the Saranids, and that's obviously a bit of an issue in itself because they're making them stronger. We don't have a situation where I'm able to go to the diplomacy screen and actually see what's going on in regards to combat strength or faction strength or anything like that. I can't actually see that in a value form in Warband. The only thing I can really see is, well, what can I actually see in the encyclopedia? I'm actually not entirely sure what I could see. I haven't been into the encyclopedia a huge amount in Warband. It's just not that useful in comparison to the one in Bannerlord, because obviously in Bannerlord you use it for a variety of reasons, you know, finding a spouse or finding where a particular village is, or, you know, what have you, you know, that kind of thing. But in this, you don't really use it for that much. You use it initially to determine which faction is at war against who, because obviously you don't really have that information available readily. And apart from that, what else do you use it for? Maybe finding where a particular vassal is, or where he has been located, possibly. That's pretty much the only thing I can think of right now. I'm sure there's a number of other things that you can do with it, but I can't bring them to my mind at the moment. So yeah, anyway. Point is, I'm thinking we'll probably do that after we have eliminated the Rhodoks, but I'm thinking maybe what we want to do, as I said to you before, is once we've conquered the Rhodoks, we want to go straight onto the Sarranids, because they're just so close to each other, right? And we don't want to be in a situation where we've just conquered the Rhodoks, and then there is a huge lull, like a massive break in between our conflicts. Because what's going to happen is the Sarranids are then going to be gaining a bunch of vassals from the Rhodoks. We know that there's definitely going to be some, you know, it doesn't have to be all of them, of course, but there's definitely going to be some vassals that will inevitably join the Sarranids, and we don't want them to gain strength almost immediately. So being able to instantly go from one to the other is going to give them very low chances to have those vassals prepared and ready to fight immediately. So what can we do about that? Well, my plan is to make it so that we can accept all of these vassals at Wurcheg before we go for the Rhodoks. That's what we're going to do. Because if we can do that, we'll have them in our service, and they may be some of the least powerful, you know, around, because obviously they don't have any fiefs at all, but I can only hope that they're going to just recruit from, you know, our fiefs that we already have under control. Maybe they're going to be able to do that. I'm not entirely sure, but whatever the case. So yeah, we're just going to accept all of those guys, and then we're going to be going straight on to the Rhodoks after that. So the plan right now, or the course of action right now, is eliminate the Khergits and then go back to Wurcheg. That's pretty much it. Khergits, Wurcheg, Rhodoks, Sarranids. That's it. So hopefully I'll be able to do something like that and be able to make it work, because that's the thing, you know, being able to make it work is the big deal. Because sure, I can definitely do it, but making it work is a completely different kettle of fish. And so I'm not sure whether I'm actually going to be able to do that or pull it off in a significant enough way. Because of course we are going to maybe have some issues with some vassals leaving. But if I don't give them any fiefs, then that shouldn't be that big a deal, and we shouldn't really have to worry too much. Yeah, you can see here, this is the reason why these Khergit Lancers are actually not even entirely bad. They're knocking me down with their mace attacks, and it's actually causing me a bit of a headache right now, because they're bashing me in the face, no doubt. But yeah, they really are very good. If they have maces, they can do a lot of damage, very surprisingly, in fact. That guy's trying to... yeah, look, you see that? That guy was definitely trying to get me. Thankfully, I was able to eliminate him. Okay, I'm kind of worried about reinforcements, but I don't think they have any additional reinforcements, so I shouldn't need to worry too much. But I'm actually very pleased that we are doing a relatively decent job of tackling the siege towers. Because obviously siege towers, annoying, you know. They're very annoying to deal with, considering they have a long construction time. But that's their only drawback, in my opinion. Otherwise, as I've already said in previous episodes, they're great. I actually quite like them. But their construction speed is the one thing that annoys me. But yeah, that is obviously going to be nullified relatively well once we have more points in engineering, which is the reason why I'm prioritizing that so dramatically. Anyway, let me have a look here. A Vagian Knight. Why not? Let's take one of those. And do we have anything else here that is actually any good? Not particularly, actually. Okay, not really looking forward to that. I guess we'll just take some Nord-trained footmen then. And that's pretty much all I want to do. Not taking loot, as I said before. There's just no real point for me to take loot. And otherwise, I'm going to give this to Gunda once again. I just kind of want to boost his relation as much as possible. And then hopefully he's going to be kind of happy about that. Anyway, yeah, they're trying to take Ikimur at the moment. I know that that's a ladder town, so I'm not sure whether I really need to worry about that in comparison to going on and taking KHUDAN. We have a bunch of people around here. I don't really care if they take back Sangecha Castle, as you can see. Oh no, look at that. We had someone from the Swadians join the Sarranids. That's not particularly nice of him. Oh well, never mind. We can't do much about that. And, whoa, okay, there's a lot of people in here. There's a lot of people in here. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, first of all, let's just level up our companions and myself and the various units that have gained enough experience. There we go. More Huskals to add to the fire. Thank you. And we'll get some more of these, and there we go. All right, so that's absolutely fine. And of course, Barney has leveled up. All right, so we need one more level. One more level, and then we can do the wonderful, wonderful thing of reading the books that we have, and then we can increase our, you know, our intelligence and all the other wonderful stuff. So I'm going to go for another point in Trainer, another point in Pathfinding, and that is pretty much all I want to do. And there we have it. Okay, so now, here we go. I obviously cannot force them into a surrender, which is very, very sad, but that's actually not even that big a deal. Hopefully they just haven't magicked up a bunch of extra units in the process of them defending here, because I saw what they had. They had around... maybe around 200? I'm thinking around 200, but I could be wrong, obviously, because maybe they've, as I say, magicked up a bunch of extras. But let's hope, let's cross our fingers and hope that that's not the case, because I'm going to be in a big, big problematic situation then. Okay, here we go. Can we get in, actually? That's the first thing that we need to do. Oh, Rayek is here. Rayek is here. Okay, fine. We need to take him prisoner. We need to take him prisoner very badly. He hates us. We need to make sure that he's off the playing field. Luckily, we're not being shot. Surprisingly enough. Yeah, we're not being shot. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's actually something also that we've got to bear in mind. If we do end up defeating the Khergits relatively soon, then most of them will probably end up joining the Saranids as well. So then it's going to be a situation where they're just literally... such a Goliath of epic proportions that I'm not sure if we'll be able to really defeat them that easily. But I suppose the best thing that we can do then is, as I said before, just continue accepting all those vassals that have come to us and see if we can make them happy in the best way that we can, and just try and take things as fast as possible. That's pretty much all I can do. I'm actually going to tell my... Nope, I want to do all people, please. All people. Can you go ahead there, guys? Can you go ahead? Yep, they are actually trying, I think. They are actually trying, so if they could just sneak in there, that would be wonderful. Yes. Yes, can I squeeze in? Yes, I can. Okay, wonderful. Excellent. Okay, I'm gonna try and drop off the side here if I can. Oh, wait. Maybe I can actually carve a... Okay, well, never mind. Alright. I was going to say, I'm just going to drop off the side, but yeah, anyway. Let's place the flag down here. We have the space now, and now I'm just going to go to town on the various little archers that are waiting here. Are you serious right now that I literally took 20 damage from that skirmisher? 18 damage from that skirmisher? Are you serious? That guy is an absolute monster. Alright, I guess... Wait a minute, Wait a minute, I remember this place. This exact thing happened to me in a previous episode, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I got absolutely murdered by their ranged forces in this exact position once before, and I am at pretty much the exact same HP level. That is very, very funny. Alright, well, let me see if I can just get a couple of kills with my crossbow. I'm not really trying super hard to get headshots here, but if I can get some, then great. If I can't, then I'll just get some experience and just try and weaken the enemy. If they didn't have any ranged units right now, I'd go over there straight away, but yeah, they do, of course. Oh well, never mind. I'm actually wondering whether I should just continue the hold position strategy. I'm wondering whether that would make more sense. Okay, I'm gonna try the hold position strategy, and then we'll see what happens, because maybe we'll be able to get more people in here. Maybe we can then surround the enemy a little bit more effectively, because as it stands right now, we're kind of getting stopped a bit, and that's obviously not very conducive to survival. There we go. Nice. We're getting some good experience. Not too bad. I think that's actually the end of it. Yep. Okay, so it was around 200 units, so I'm pretty happy that my estimate was not exactly bad, but yeah, there you go. Okay, so we were able to take KHUDAN, and as I said to you before, I'm not sure whether we should let people go or whether we should take them prisoner, because if I let them go, this guy's going to have a positive relation with me. So as you can see, he's going to have a positive relation. This fella, I mean, obviously this is the leader of the Khajiits. I will probably take him prisoner just purely for the fact that he cannot join our faction. And, oh, this guy loves us, so I'm going to let him go. And that was it. Oh, well, that's actually kind of sad. I was hopeful for a couple more units, but oh well, never mind. Okay, and we've got only bread remaining, so I'm going to go in here in just a second. Let's just give this to Nalag real fast, and then, wow, they have basically nothing here. Okay, I will buy some of this. Let's go into the tavern, see if that last companion is around here somewhere. Highly unlikely, right? Yep. Super, super unlikely. Okay, so I know for 100% certain that Radagir Castle is a siege tower, and Beluga Castle, I think, is also a siege tower. So I'm going to be making my way down to Malaya Castle instead. And actually... No, you know what? No. I know what I'm going to do. Alright. We're going to do a little bit more, a little bit of change of plans, okay? A little bit of change of plans. I'm thinking to myself, how can I make this the easiest, most efficient way to take this? I'm going to go to Beluga Castle straight away. We're going to go there, and what we're going to do is we're going to take it, or, well, obviously, we're going to try to take it, right? Ikemur has been besieged, that's absolutely fine. We've got people actually leaving the Khajiit Khanate right now, which is pretty good. And, yeah, we have Lord Nadar here. What are you doing, sir? Are you actually wanting to take this, or what? Yeah, I need to make someone else the, I definitely need to make someone else the marshal, because no one is coming to help me right now. And I do believe I have a campaign currently active, but they're just ignoring it because my controversy is way too high. At least, as I say, at least that's my understanding of the whole thing. Anyway, we are hopefully going to be able to take this without too many difficulties. You can see here, this ladder is perfect. Absolutely wonderful ladder. Look at the battlements. It allows us to just basically get straight on in, and we should have no issues whatsoever. It's actually a little bit weird that this is indeed the case, because why would there be a hole here? I guess we've kind of, maybe we've bombarded it with a catapult or a trebuchet or something like that. Maybe that's the reason. But, yeah, it's a little strange that there's a gap in the battlements, exactly the width of the ladder, but, you know, who am I to say? You know, it's an old game, so, you know, I shouldn't really nitpick that much, to be honest, but there you go. It just dawned on me at that exact moment that it seemed a bit weird that it was exactly the width of the ladder, but, oh well, not really that big a deal, as I say. Anyway, let's just eliminate these archers, and then we can hopefully do a little bit of a crowd surf down into the courtyard. And all of my forces are now up here. Wait a minute. Did I... I told my archers to hold position. Okay, I'm going to tell them to charge now. And then we can basically just absolutely murder everything in here. I don't think we need to worry about that at all. But yeah. Anyway, my change of plans is basically going to be this. After we've taken Beluga Castle, I'm going to go to Wurcheg. I'm going to accept every single vassal we have waiting there. And then they will hopefully be helping us out and be, you know... well, actually doing something to assist us. You know, as I say, in the past, AI on my side has been a bit sparse in its assistance of my factions that I created, you know, previously. But hopefully this time it's not going to be that bad, and they're actually going to join us. But yeah, I'm actually going to be making Lord Nadar. I think Nadar is probably the best candidate for the job for the marshalship, and hopefully he's going to be leading a huge army of, well, epic proportions. Yes, I know, epic proportions. Yes, I know. Anyway, hopefully we're going to be getting one of those, and we've got 4 enemies remaining. I'm actually wondering whether I can just retreat from here and then just finish it off with a surrender or something like that, because my forces are taking way too long to eliminate these guys. Oh well, never mind. I guess we can just wait for them to do it, but yeah. Anyway, so that's what we'll do. I'm going to make Nadar, as I say, the marshal, and hopefully he'll lead some wonderful armies. And then we will return. We'll swing back around, go to Radagir Castle. Seems like there's some random over there. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but I'm just going to end it here. Let's get the man-at-arms. Thank you very much. And these guys are annoying. Okay, we'll get the militia. Why not? We'll get the militia. I think that sounds okay. Okay, so now what do we want to do? Who has only one castle? Nadar only has one castle. Let's give him another castle, even though he is maxed out in terms of his relation, because he is just that much of a nice guy. You know, he literally doesn't lose relation at any point. He's amazing. He's really, really good. So, very pleased that we were able to get him. And, yeah, okay, so let's just very quickly go into the tavern here. Okay, so we've got Mateld and Ymira. Okay, yeah, someone actually said that maybe I should get Mateld, but I don't know. I just don't want to make my companions hate each other, because then they're going to continually come up to me with complaints and so on and so forth. Anyway, I'm going to accept every single person here, no matter who they are. And they are then going to be running around doing some wonderful stuff. And then I will also speak to my emissary in just a second. Did I speak to this guy already? Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, that's nice. He likes us, apparently, because we've let him go. And he seems to have an honorable personality or whatever, because we have a high honor rating. Okay, so I wish to replace myself as Marshal, and it is going to be Lord Nadar. Yes, indeed. Oh, Lord Aodin actually likes that. Oh, that's cool. All right, I like that. That's good. And I wish you to grant one of my vassals a fief, because I have a bunch, all right? I have a bunch because these things were taken and I haven't assigned them to anyone. So I think the best thing for me to do is to give it to Lord Nuas, but there's going to be a lot of people that will not like this. So that's a bit of an issue, isn't it? Yes. That is a bit of an issue. Lord Aodin is going to get this, and we'll just give Slezk Castle to Nuas as well. There we go. All right, that's pretty much what I can do. There's a bunch of villages as well, but I don't really see the point in taking those. And I think we have... yeah, there we go. Okay, so now let's go back into the castle to refresh the amount of vassals that we have available here. And as you can see, look at how many we actually have to accept. It is incredible, the amount of people that are waiting to join us, and I'm actually not sure whether there are even more than this after this round. There might even be more. Yep. No, they're starting to get a little bit less, but we have some of the ladies here now as well, and obviously we can't accept them. But yeah, there's still a bunch of vassals here. There we go, and there we have it. Okay, so that's basically it. Let's go into the marketplace. Oh, wow. Yeah, good amount of marketplace supplies to be had here. Very nice. And there we go. All right. Perfect. All right. Very nice indeed. And I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. And in the next one, we're going to be going on a crusade against the Khergits, then sweeping around all the way over to the Rhodoks. And then our final opponent will be the Sarranids. And that will pretty much be it. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.